Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and welcome to the Ghana Agenda. Today's issues are going to be fireworks. We are talking to Togbi Jomachi the second, all the way from Asogli States. Why are we bringing him in? We are bringing Togbi in specifically. Some of the issues that came up after that. So he's gonna kind of help us understand what the Yam Festival really is, and what the themes for this year's festival was, whether those themes have been achieved, what plans are in place to make sure the themes or the agenda of Togbi Afede and the Asogli state has been achieved this year. And then we would segue into a discussion about Kalamse and whether Aisha One's emergence on the scene again, it's contributing negatively towards the fight against Galamse. We will be right back, and my guest, I can see Togbi in the studio. Lifetime Legacy is also in the studio. Please tell a friend to join the show. Today's topic, very important one. Don't miss it. We'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome again to the Ghana Agenda. Again, my name is Alfred Amuzu. Please share the link so others can join the show as well. Today I have Togbi Jomachi the second with me. We are talking about Asogli State and the Yam Festival that has just ended. Some of the success stories, some of the good things that happened, and some of the not so good things that happened at the observation of this year's Yam Festival. Also, we'll be talking about Galamsey and the fact that Aisha Hong has reemerged on the scene and whether that is positive for the fight against Galamsey, because others or some of the discussions I'm hearing is that we are actually arresting and prosecuting people. I've also seen in the papers where we had actually rounded about 164 people, and they told you a group that was Chinese and other groups. And so how does all this together contribute to the fight on Galamsey? Please share the link. I'm trying to share the link at the same time that I'm waiting for the guests to join. I do have Togbi in the studio. I don't want to keep Togbi waiting too long. So share the link so others can join. I'm sending the link to Togbi as well so you can share to these people. So again, let's take a quick last commercial break, and when we come back, we would jump right into the discussion. I have Togbi in the studio. I don't want you to miss that part. He's going to tell us what Yam Festival is, what is the significance of Yam Festival, among the areas and for the Asogli state. He's going to explain all that to us and tell us, what plans, Togbi are further and the team has to develop that part of the region. So we'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. My name is Alfred Amuzu, and this is the Ghana Agenda. Right.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome back to the show again. My name is Alfred Amuzu. As I was saying, I have Togby in the studio with me. So, with all I do, with all due respect to those who will be joining us late and those who are currently already watching us, please share the link so others can watch as well. Let me bring Togby to the discussion so we can start talking about the first segment, which is going to deal with the Asogli State and the Yam Festival that has just ended, the success stories from that, and some of the not so successful stories and issues that emerged from that. So, Togby, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm very fine. I hope you're doing good too.
I am definitely. We also have another guest who's going to join us later on, which is Lifetime Legacy and the team. I'll bring them on later. But Togby, I want the first discussion to be just between you and I. And the very first thing I really want to get to understand is if you can introduce yourself, as especially since this is your first time on the show, so others can get to know you, so that we can get into the conversation. So, Togby, tell us a little bit about yourself and your relationship with Togby Afede and why it is important that you would be the best person to talk to us today about the issue of the Yam Festival, the successes, and some of the issues that came up during this year's observation.
Yes, thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to indicate here, but not in any official capacity.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you've already introduced, I'm Togbe Jumachi #2 from Obankwe, Asogli Traditional Council.
Okay.
In terms of relationship with Togbe Apede, he is my paramount chief and I'm a sub chief under him.
Awesome. All right. So tell us about Asogli. Asogli state itself. Got a quick description because most of my viewers in the United States, some of them may be familiar with Asogli state, some may not be. So tell us briefly about it. What are its scope? What is the scope? How many traditional areas, or how big it is? Where does it cover? Where does the influence extend to within the Volta region? What is its significance within the Volta region itself? And then we will switch over to the Yam Festival. So kind of quickly introduce us to Asogli State itself. If you say Asogli State, what are we talking about?
Yes, Asogli State comprises 4 traditional areas: Ho, Takla, Kwengwe, and Akwefe.
Okay.
Where does Asogli come from? These 4 areas that I've mentioned were founded by 4 different people who happen to be the son of Kakle. That's the man who led us from Ngoche to here. So these 4 sons of his went in different directions upon departure from Ngoche. One settled and founded Akwepe, another founded Kwenwe, another Takla, and another Ho. So from that perspective that we are one people, we trace our roots to the same father, we kind of come together to mark our festival and do things in common, because as I've already indicated, these are children of the same man.
Awesome, awesome. So you mentioned festival that you guys all come together, the various traditional areas, and then as long as they come together and celebrate together. Tell me about the festival itself. Is it only Yam Festival, or is that other festivals? I think it's only Yam Festival. What is the Yam Festival to start with?
Yeah, the Yam Festival basically is. Are we on?
Yes, you're on. You're on. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So the Yam Festival basically is celebrated to mark the bumper harvest, to thank God for having looked after us in the past year and bringing us safely thus far. This festival originated from Ngoche, and so when we migrated here, we came with it. So today in Ngoche, Yam Festival is celebrated as we also celebrate here, to mark the bumper harvest, to thank God from saving us from hunger and keeping us alive for the previous year. So it's kind of a new year to us every single year.
All right. And so this is something you celebrate every year. And what time period does it happen? And how does one get to attend the Yam Festival? Please tell us all that if you can.
Yeah, Yam Festival happens late August to early September, depending on the timing. It spans a period of about 1 month, depending on the series of activities that have been planned for that specific year. But we always have some special days. That is the day that we do the hailing of the yam should be a Friday, and it should fall on a market day. So, for instance, if the first Friday in September doesn't fall on a market day, then it means we are going to look at the last Friday in August. Which should be a market day. A market day because the Yam Festival we mark as a happy or joyous occasion. And traditionally, if you want to do something joyous in our traditional setup, then we are looking at a market day or the day after the market day. Any other day, then we cannot do something joyous. So we always take note of the market day when we want to hail the new year, because it's bringing, or we are celebrating, we are not mourning.
Awesome. All right, great. So essentially, as the Asogli State celebrates the Yam Festival between close to the end of August to early September timeframe. That's what you're telling me. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay. All right. So, and this is just done in Ho specifically. It's not anywhere else. Or do you move it between the traditional areas? Is it like in one particular year you do it in Ho, and another particular year you take it to another traditional area? Is that the case?
Yes, I think what happens is there are a series of activities that are dotted around the various communities. So it's not like everything happens in Ho, but the climax talk about the Deba, the healing of the Yam. You know, Ho is the biggest town among the traditional council. So on those days, we host the other communities. But there are some other activities like Nubabla. Nubabla is the final ritual we perform where certain herbs are put together, certain things happen, and every chief is given a part of those herbs to bring to your home for protection. That happens in Akwepe. There is the weighing of the yam, which is done in any other community. The women do cooking competition, which is also done. So there are activities that the other communities benefit in, but the climax mostly is in Ho, because Ho is the head of the council.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so how does one get to come to this festival? If I'm interested, how do I come or get invited? Do I have to apply? What is the process of getting somebody who's maybe a politician, maybe another chief from another community, or somebody significant, a minister of state? How do they get invited to partake in this festival?
Yes, if I want to get you right, if it's just an individual, say
Right.
me or anybody living in Kumasi or Accra who's
Mhm.
coming down here, I think the essential is hotel accommodation and probably some money to move you around. But
Mhm.
if you are being invited in an official capacity, as
Basket.
you are saying,
Mhm.
minister or what have you, then
Mhm.
some of these people, this is a widely publicized event, so some
Okay.
may come on their own, others, for certain reasons, may have to be invited.
Okay. Okay. So when you say all this for certain reasons have to be invited, what is the process? Is it just somebody writing a letter to another person saying, "Hey, you are invited to the." I'm saying this because, of course, I want to talk about successes before we go into the issues. But I'm saying this because we
Yeah,
all, everybody watching, of course, is aware of some of the issues that came up this year.
great.
But I wanted to take the politics out of it. I wanted to kind of just understand how this process is.
I missed that part of it. If you could come again, I missed that part of it.
No, but I'm saying that, of course,
Yes.
I'm sure you are also aware of some of the issues that came up this year, right? How
Yeah.
does the invitation process, kind of unfolds? How is it executed? How do, being a chief food is within the I don't know how to call it, but the chieftaincy,
Yeah,
the council.
I'm
How do they?
getting you. And as I indicated earlier, I
Mhm.
am not speaking in any official capacity, so some of those technical issues I may not be able to handle because
Okay,
I am not in charge of such processes. If
okay.
we, yeah,
So you don't know too much into that's do you
not
know what
really.
that's himself?
I've only been a chief 5 months, and I still have a lot of learning to do. But that
It's only.
office
Mhm.
clearly is run by a team, and I
Okay.
believe, yeah, I know where you are going with that. Yeah, so really,
There is a famous secretary of the Asogli States by name Seth, Seth something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Seth.
self what
What is the name of your secretary? The secretary of the Asogli State
currently,
currently? Yes.
yeah, he's Stephen Tete.
Steven status. Steven. I was mistaken Steven for Seth. So Steven,
Oh, that's right.
uh,
Yeah,
you are familiar with Steven, right? So
very much.
from what we understand, Steven somehow is who sends the invitations out to whoever comes to that festival in official capacity. Is that your
Yes,
understanding as well? Does Toby
yeah,
After himself get involved in that? Do you know whether he gets involved? Because I know you as a chief, like you're telling me, you're not involved in the technical aspect of, you know,
not really, not really. And I believe Stephen, he's handled that this year, as I'm aware. Previous years, I'm not aware who handled that.
right.
Yeah.
So does Toby Afede himself get involved in the invitation process? Do you think he's, aware of who's been invited, who's not been invited?
Yeah, I
You don't
wouldn't
have to.
want
If
to.
you don't know, you don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to hazard a guess, actually.
Say that again.
I wouldn't want to hazard a guess.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, all right. So let's go to some of the successes. How successful was this year's festival? Did you guys was the theme, which is my understanding is to bring about peace in the sub-region. Is that
Yeah.
something that you've how did you even come about this? How was this theme decided on? Were you part of that? What do you know about coming to decide on this theme and the significance of the theme for this year's festival?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't form a part of the planning team
Committee.
as well. But this was a kind of a blanket thing given to us, which means it was already predetermined by whom I don't know. But I think it has really come to sit very well with us. The
Mhm,
theme says we should eschew greed, unite for peace,
mhm,
development, and prosperity.
mhm,
This was opened this year with the Anti-Corruption Day, which
mhm,
brought anti-corruption big weights like the Thompson Mensahs, the Black Rasta,
mhm,
Manasseh, and all the big wigs in terms of Ghana, trying to put our leaders on their right footing. And so a lot of talking went on that day. We really benefited a lot. We were exposed to a lot of shady deals going on in the country and how we should find that unattractive if we want to move on as
mhm,
people. Then moving on, we also experienced the Youth Empowerment Day,
mhm,
which Togbe himself was in there to talk to the youth
mhm,
how they cannot have to always wait for government to give them employment, what they can do on their own, skills training. A lot of
mhm,
them were registered and from time to time will be monitored, in terms of the level of development and what kind of technical support or help to give them. All that is in place. And then we also had a summit of chiefs from Ghana, Togo, Benin, and of course Nigeria. And
mhm,
we are numbering about 12 million people right from Ghana to Nigeria. Nigeria
mhm,
has about 600,000, Togo
mhm,
about 3 point something, Ghana about 6 million. So, yeah. And if really we can put these people together and
mhm.
unite as one, how do I
When you
call
say
it?
when you saying these people, you're talking about you're talking about airways in
Yes,
Ghana,
I'm talking
Togo,
about
Nigeria.
Elvis, right from
Yeah.
Ghana to
Okay.
Nigeria.
All right.
Great. Yeah, and also I think in some 1 month or so, or even less, we're going to have the African Chieftaincy Institute, a kind of an
Mhm,
African Union thing. Our leaders politically have failed over there, so we also want to see how traditionally our chiefs can come together and push. Because until the politician came, until the colonial master came, we had
mhm,
our traditional setup which was functioning.
mhm,
So great idea from Togbe Apede, the African Chieftaincy Institute, very soon coming up in Accra. We will
right.
try to see how chiefs can come together and push our development forward. Remember, Africa boasts about 30% of the world's natural resources, and this is something really, really big, which when we manage ourselves well, we can advance.
Interesting. Interesting. Those are all really good points. Actually, um, enthused about the fact that Togbi is leading this fight to unite chiefs across the region and focus on developing the region, especially where our politicians are found wanting. All right, so this year's events, right? Did you, in your assessment, think you realized the goals set out for the festival itself, bringing people together and kind of sharing ideas? Do you think that was realized? What are some of the successes that you can actually describe from what you observed from this particular year's Yam Festival?
Yeah, I'll still just have to go back to the issues I've earlier stated,
Yeah.
because, for instance, I am observing this as a chief for the first time.
Right.
In previous years, I've been on the fence. This time, I was actually involved, and these are some of the things I've seen. And if you see the level of involvement of people, it means really we are in for something. Provided we can really push on and be consistent with what we want to do, then there is a future for us.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. I
All right.
also want to mention quickly a plan by Togbe Apede for the whole developmental, whole city project. Maybe I'll get a picture and send to you later. It's a wonderful, wonderful idea. And when stakeholders come on board, some 5-10 years time, it will shock you when you come to Volta region.
Okay. But tell us briefly, what are some of the things, the major things in that developmental agenda? What is Togbe thinking about?
Basically, we're looking at a whole city altogether. Already, we have the airport. Togbe talked about the idea of bringing, establishing an aircraft repair center here. Just imagine what can happen from that. And of course, we're looking at becoming a whole city in a very, very short time. And we're identifying people, the likes of you, those of you in the diaspora, to bring you on board. Have your mother, what do we call it, town, or your roots at heart, and let's all come on board and see how we can develop Volta.
Interesting. Nice. On that line, I've seen some videos recently talking about Ho being the city with the cleanest air in Ghana. Matter of fact, I've experienced that myself visiting you, which was sometime in June, July or so. And I could tell how clean that city is. I could tell, just by, how serene it was. It felt good, actually, walking about the city and touring that city. And I'm sure any visitor would testify to this. But let me ask, for this particular year's event, rumors came out, or not necessarily rumors, but these are kind of newsy now. News came out that the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, the Member of Parliament, was invited to attend this year's event. Tell us from the beginning, if you have any information on this, tell us from the beginning, how does this whole invitation of Kennedy occurred and what happened when he showed up? If you can narrate that story for me, please.
Yeah, great. Let me put it this way, we're surprised when all of a sudden Honorable Kennedy emerged at a sitting in state event.
Okay.
And I don't think that gentleman needs any introduction.
Right.
In terms of the way he portrays himself and the kind of utterances he makes, especially towards Evers. I remember in 2018, he declared war on Evers and guns, not alone to talk about the many derogatory comments he's made about especially our traditional leader or our paramount chief. I remember Togbe Ponku of blessed memory also, reacting to some of the unsavory comments he made. So clearly, that guy, let me say, has not demonstrated to be a kind of a person whom you will consider as a friend, who will wish you well, especially at a time like that. So we saw his presence there unsolicited, and so made it clear to him that as chiefs of Asogli State, we were not ready to receive his gifts. And that was it.
All right. When you say you were surprised, does it mean that no chief in Asogli State was aware that Kennedy was actually invited officially to attend this event?
I did not see the list of invited guests, but being whom he is and the kind of posture he is adopted towards, especially Evers, I was surprised he emerged over there that day.
All right, but so after he has, showed up and everything, how did you get to know that, in fact, he was actually invited?
Yes, we saw a press statement Monday from our secretary, and it is obvious the invitation letter came from him, for which he has apologized, first of all, to the Traditional Council, and also, secondly, to the Honorable Member of Parliament.
Right. So the relationship between the chiefs and the sub-chiefs and the secretary, does he tell you or brief you about things that he's doing on behalf of the states? Or, I mean, these are things you find out after the fact. I mean, something like this, you would think that if somebody as famous as Kennedy Japan is being invited, and that information, has that been shared, or it hasn't been shared from his office at all?
Yes, I expressed the surprise earlier on, which tells you clearly nobody was expecting him.
Okay. And if and here's the thing: if you are not informed, I'm surprised that even the Togbi Fede himself will be informed, being that he's busy. You are busy as well, and maybe you guys, everybody focuses on different parts of, because I think to pull off a Yam Festival as significant as it is and huge as it is, it's not a small feat, and that people have to play various roles. And everybody was playing his role, and this secretary apparently invited people without necessarily, circulating that around. Is that your understanding of the situation?
Would I precisely say that? I believe to err is human, and the gentleman in question has come out to apologize. Why do you think he apologized to the Traditional Council?
Well, I pretty much because he made some mistake there. Now, are there any sanctions being administered to him as far as conducting himself in this way that you're aware of?
Well, we are yet to meet to speak on that, but why do you always have to look at sanctions when people go wrong? There are many opportunities, many other means by which problems can be solved. So we meet and then we see how to move on. He has offered an apology. We are going to come out.
Okay. So that decision hasn't yet been made.
Nothing has been decided yet.
Okay. Perfect. Well, now, some of my friends on the Ghana agenda who usually come to engage in these discussions with me have questioned the sacking of the member of parliament when he showed up. What was the reason for having him turn around? Why was he not allowed to at least partake? I understand that you don't want to take his gift, but why sack him?
He was not sacked. Nobody sacked Kennedy Japan. When he arrived that afternoon, our warriors, our Asafo group, they drummed and heralded him onto the Deba grounds. Then came this group, the Vandals. I don't know whether he was at the Commonwealth or not. After they came to pay homage, they went to him, interacted, and Kennedy stayed there for no less than 1 hour. Upon deciding to leave, our Asafo group again drummed him out of that place. So it's not like kind of somebody chasing. We just said we are not we are not accepting your gift, and that is it. So based on the way you have behaved towards us.
So it was only the gift. He was not kicked out of the Durbar.
Why would you kick him out? Is he not a Ghanaian? Is he not entitled to be in any part of Ghana that he wants to be at a time?
Of course. So you're saying that he actually stayed there for more than an hour. Is
He
that what you're
didn't
saying?
spend less than 1 hour there, I can tell you.
Okay. Okay, so he stayed there for at least 1 hour. He was drunk coming on. Even when he was leaving, he was drummed out. And he
Yes.
said even the Vandals engaged. What did the Vandals actually?
Where from where I was sitting and where he was, there was no
Mhm.
way I could tell what they discussed, but clearly there was some interactions between them.
But the Vandals were cheering him on, or were trying to, or booing him. Was that the what you observed? Were they
No, they did
booing?
not. They did not. They did not
No,
boo him. They did not boo him. They sat
they
with him.
cheered
They
him
talked
on.
with him.
Okay, okay. All right. Perfect, perfect. Anyway, so um going forward with Asogli State and this festival, what are the expectations? What are you guys doing to develop whole? Or what are some of the plans for whole that you're aware of? The festival for next year. What are some of the plans that people should be aware of to attract them to come and observe the Yam Festival with you and maybe learn about some more investment opportunities? My listeners are, very broad, and some of them have money in their pocket. So this is your time to kind of try to get some of that money or try to kind of tell them what are some of the good things going on in whole that they should be interested in.
Yes, I believe one area that we have not really tapped into
Mm.
is our tourism potentials.
Okay.
Look at, for instance, the Adaklu mountain that we do every year. Come talk about Galemku mountain, and there is a place at Takla when during one of the wars, one of our warriors went and hid over there, and he was there. People came looking for him, but no one could see him. Kind of a mystery place. Yeah, these are all places that are there. People go for free. So I believe one investor out there can come tap into it. Why do you climb the whole of that Adaku mountain for free? When somebody comes, they're carrying water to make money and go, the area there doesn't benefit anything. So I believe, even if you go to Amejope, you do the mountain, they now have a waterfall with some canopy walk. Volta has a lot of potentials that people can really come and explore and help bring up. I believe we've looked at so many areas for too long, and the Volta agenda, I believe, is one thing that we should all be interested in. Togbe Akwede marks 20 years come next year, and I believe that's going to be a very super celebration, and it's not just about music, dance, drink, and what have you. It's about seeing to the well-being of our people, putting money in the pockets of our people. You know the kind of Ghana we're living in today, a lot of things. Anyway, I don't want to go there, but clearly there is a lot of suffering. So anything that can bring some kind of a development that can alleviate the condition we are going through now, I believe will be top on the agenda. A few investors will be coming in. And so we are looking at Volta, we are not looking at who, we are not looking at Assembly. We are looking
All
at
right.
everything. Right.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Um, Again, I was going to make that my last question, but something just came up to mind about the role of chiefs in our body politics. What do you think, or where do you place chiefs, or where do you think chiefs should play? What role should chiefs play going forward? Because history tells us that before politics, before official, democracy and maybe or official governance structures were put in place in Ghana, chiefs were actually ruling communities. Matter of fact, even today, but the constitution, chiefs are the custodian of our land. What role should they play in our development, in managing our affairs in our state, from your perspective?
Great, great. It is good you've observed that chiefs are the custodians of our lands and towns and cities. Yes. So first of all, the politician, how long does it last? 4 years, 8 years? The chief is a lifetime thing. And clearly, politics has taken over everything, and the value or the essence of chiefs are not being felt or appreciated again. It is good the chieftaincy institution is setting up once again. Chiefs have started speaking against a lot of ills going on, and we, as I said, will be here. We were here before politics, and I believe after politics, we'll still be here. So it is about time we come back, start looking at chiefs again, the importance of their roles, and the chiefs themselves should make sure they are upright. It is sad to hear that, for instance, if our land is being degraded in the name of Galamsey, certain chiefs are kind of what playing uh, very, very key roles, not to stop it, but to make money for themselves. I believe this is not what chieftaincy is about. Chieftaincy is about being a servant to your people, playing their cause, leading them, and showing examples. So we still can do a lot in the developmental agenda.
That is really nicely said, and I'm really grateful that you were able to kind of briefly capture what you believe the idea of chieftaincy really is, which is providing for your people and not to make money. And even in the issue that we are about to discuss next, which is gonna say that some chiefs are playing key roles, not on the side of the ordinary person, but just to enrich themselves. And that is something that chieftaincy is completely not about. Now, before you leave, we have a relationship. I don't know if you want to talk about that, or should I be the one to talk about how are we related? If you can just tell the audience so they know how I was able to pull a chief to come to the show today. Good morning.
Well, we okay, simply put, we were classmates. We went to school together, border complex schools at Aflao.
So we went to elementary school together.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. Yeah. And I'm happy to see you, be elevated.
And I don't know why I am looking older than you.
Maybe it's the Yombo. Even though I never you, I mean, you've always been a brother. You kind of
no, those days there was Azuma, Pat Cadwell growing up. I remember we attempted doing some boxing and stuff together.
in your house, actually. Come and do a little boxing in your house. And you were the coach. And then you and I would even be on the team together playing soccer back in the days growing up.
Yeah. We played some soccer as well.
Yeah. So it's great to have you playing a significant role in the community as a chief. Togbi Jomachi II. Thank you so much for coming.
The perpetual flame.
I really appreciate the friendship and all the things, the good things you're doing for your people in the whole area. Thank you.
It's a pleasure having been on your show, Al.
All right, we'll do more of this. Okay, so
great.
Please, hopefully you have the time to, but if any issues come up, of course, I'll be calling back on you. Thank you so much.
I'm always available.
All right, thank you.
Great.
All right, so that is the Chief Togbi Jomachi II of Asogli State, who was kind with his time to join us today to explain to us what actually occurred for this 2022 Yam Festival and what the Yam Festival was about. The Asogli State, he introduced us to, the families that came together, all, the kids of the same chief branching out together to lead different communities, and the fact that they come together to celebrate this beautiful festival, which marks harvest in appreciation of what God has done for them throughout the year, not keeping them hungry and etc. So please, if you haven't seen this from the beginning, go back and play it, share it with friends, so others who are interested in this can enjoy it. Now, I'm going to take a quick break. I have my politicians in the room. When we come back, we'll start talking about some politics. We'll be right back.
Are you 65 years or older? Good news. Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS, IL65 to 773-420-8976. It's true. For most people, your health insurance program increases as you grow older. That's why the state of Illinois has expanded its Medicaid health insurance program to everyone 65 and older, regardless of your immigration status. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, UAO, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. If you are 65 years and older, there's one thing we can all agree on. Your health and well-being is important. Whether you are a recent green card holder or retiree, asylee or without paper, you're now eligible for the Illinois Medicaid Health Insurance Program. Need help to apply? Contact United African Organization, WhatsApp, SMS IL65 to 773-420-8976. Documents needed to apply: your proof of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of income.
All right, welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Agenda. Today we are talking about Galamsey and the issue of Aisha harm and how we are dealing with that. Whether that is a signal of we winning the fights on Galamsey itself, or perhaps just one of the same. I have my guests in the studio in person of Kojo DC. Kojo DC is always working. As you can see, he's on the road to making money. Kojo is making money. Kojo, you need to share that money with us. Anyway, so Kojo is on with us. I also have Paul Sosu, who is also at his son's football game, but he still would make some little time for this discussion. And I also have Lifetime Legacy, who would also be partaking in this conversation. So, Lifetime, how are you today?
I'm doing well, and thank you so much for asking. You have
Charlie,
a wonderful
I'm looking
interview
at
today.
your picture, and the clarity coming from your camera is telling me that what Acto always says about you making some of that e-levy money. Is that true? Is the e-levy money? Charlie, share the money.
Alfred, the chief posed a question to you.
Yeah.
So, in answering that particular question, we answer mine. And I quote, he said, quote, you and I were classmates, but how
Yes.
come I look older than you? So, if you are able to provide answer to that question, that is what my secret is.
No. I've been putting yomo.
Okay. Unfortunately, mine is not Yomo. What do you call it? I try to not to be this what do you call it? Disrespectful. I try to avoid myself on certain things like normally things that the youth normally do.
Oh, trust me, I've never put yomo myself. It's a joke.
So I try to do some of those things to keep myself fit. Last time somebody was saying, you are at 44, but you are so strong than some of us who are in 30s. When you take good care of yourself, it will be even better than you enjoying the because those who are enjoying the 11 are not at peace.
Lifetime, are you sure you're not
If you think I'm lying, ask my brother Kojo.
All right, Kojo.
I don't know about that one though. I think Lifetime is enjoying. Even me, you see, I have a bald hair, right? Lifetime is not having none of
that. All right. Kojo, you took your camera off. Kojo, how are you today?
Hey, my brother, by the grace of God,
hey, Charlie, on the road.
Always on the road, looking for the money. I'm not like my brother, the way he's taking a lot of e-levy money, even though he's not in government. I'm surprised he's enjoying more than me.
I'm telling you. All right, thanks for joining the show, even on the road. But be careful though. Don't concentrate too much on us, and
Yeah, Yeah,
We
yeah,
want
yeah.
to
That's
space.
why I
Yeah.
put it off. I'll put it off, but to say hi to you after that. Hey, my brother Paul, why his son? What is he playing?
Paul,
Football.
can we see your face too, Paul? I know you are in the game, but
Yeah, I'm in the game. I'm at the game now,
I know.
and
all right.
What kind of
I'm.
Wow.
football? Is it proper football or so-called soccer?
It's our proper football, Ghana football.
Proper
No,
football. The one we don't play with foot, right?
The one we play with foot.
foot. Not the
Yeah.
one we catch and run, and
No,
then
no,
we
no,
play
no, no,
one
no,
with
no.
foot.
That is their football. Ours is
Uh-huh.
Ghana football. Let me
This
see.
this is
So
Ghana football.
yes, so I can
This is
show you. This is
soccer.
the one
Yeah.
on the
I
field
like that.
playing.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
what we know.
Perfect. What
No, no,
position is he playing?
He was playing a midfield, and now he's been moved to be the goalie. So I'm watching.
Oh, from Pogba to De Gea. All
Yes.
right.
for goalie, then he's a brave boy, man.
Yeah, he's
That
a
thing,
brave guy. He's a
Yeah,
brave
he
Yeah.
must
guy.
be.
play that thing, you have to be brave to do that.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yes. All right. We wish him all the best. We
Thank you.
hope his team is gonna win.
Mhm.
We are full of support for him on the Ghana agenda today. All right, guys. Let's go into the topics we table for discussion today, which is anyway. You've all listened. I don't know if you've all actually watched the Tugby. Any comments from what the Tugby said so far? Let's start from Laughter Legacy. Anything you heard from the Tugby that you have questions about, or that answered some of the questions you had in your mind before listening to him?
Amuzu,
Yeah.
just I have not listened to it, so if you can give us any like talking point of it a little bit, so we'll know like a gist of it, that would be fine.
Yeah, so Tugby had described, what had occasioned in this year's observation of the Yam Festival. But before then, he told us about, the Ashanti state itself being that there's one chief who had multiple kids, and those kids went to different communities and actually formed communities of their own. And that those communities together is what we call the Ashanti state. They come together to celebrate the Yam Festival. They do things in different communities, all those, four or so different other communities. And the Grand Durbar is just held in Ho, which is the center of the Ashanti state, and which is led by Tugby Further. He talked about how the festival being an annual thing, and it happens between August to September. He talks about individuals can attend. Anybody can just, come to observe the activities and events with them. He described the fact that if you are a dignitary, like in the person of Kennedy Japan, which was a personal grata for this conversation, if you are in that position, politician, member of parliament, and you want to come, that is officially handed. It's a process where the secretary that invites you, he's not aware of what happened in previous years, but this year it was done by the secretary. But that invitation is not something, popularized among the chiefs or anything, so that if anyone have an objection, they can raise that. So it was the reason for which the secretary actually came to apologize to them for inviting Kennedy Japan. Why? Because Kennedy Japan has over the years said things that are unprintable and not liked so well by the chiefs of the Asogli states, including their paramount chief, which is Tommy Afede. He's declared war on errors in 2018, he said, and so many other things that I'm sure you've seen circulated on social media yourself. So he said Kennedy was not sacked from the event. Kennedy's gifts were refused. The traditional chiefs refused to take Kennedy, the gifts brought by Kennedy. But Kennedy himself stayed at the events for not less than an hour. But that he was nobody asked him to leave. Nobody, that even vandals, which are vandals meaning people who were in Commonwealth or when they were in University of Ghana at some point, actually even cheered him on at the time that he was on the Deba ground. So in summary, that the festival was successful, the goals that they've planned, everything they've planned to achieve, they have. They have plans to develop the region, especially where politicians were found wanting, that the chiefs are stepping in There's Institute of Chiefs being formed, led by Tabia Further. He says so many different things. There are tourist areas that are untapped in the area that perhaps investors like yourself should be interested in putting your money towards. So, I mean, when you get a chance, go back and watch and listen to that part. But let me
Yeah.
ask,
I think
Lifetime,
they
yes,
do. Thank you very much.
yeah, Lifetime. So, from all that, any feedback, anything that you were expecting to hear from the chief that you heard, that kind of answered a question you had in your mind, or left you still with questions that you would like to ask, and I'll forward it to Toby, my classmate, of
Okay.
course. Yes,
Thank you,
brother.
Alfred. Thank you for the question. First of all, extend my greetings to our viewers and listeners, and my brothers over here, Kojo, and my senior comrade, Paul. One person or two people are still missing. Dr. Ato and my brother Ifa.
Dr. Ato is
I
coming.
don't know if my brother Ifa have been observing anytime there is a topic that will indict his government, he tries to run away. He should come and tell us what he know about Ashawan. Anyway, that's the by the way. Alfred, I think the chief was diplomatic in some of the answers he was providing for me, which is expected of him, and the way he went about it uh, was good.
Right.
You see, that is why we as politicians we must be very careful the kind of things we say when we get the opportunity to talk to people or our followers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, tribal comments have tendency of breaking a society. What I normally ask people who always come with the mind of tribalism is that the next time you want to visit a doctor or you want to join a bus, try to ask the tribe of the person who is conducting the bus or the doctor. If you ask and the person does not share your tribe, then you tell the person that I'm sorry, you are not from my tribe, and for that matter, I don't need your services. But if you are unable to do that, then we must all see that we are all one people. It is just by a coincidence where that we have to have fashions in terms of the kind of language or dialect we speak. That for that matter, every politician must be careful of the things they say. You don't blow cold in the morning, and when it's in the evening, you expect to be hot. It is not done anywhere. There are certain things that are very sensitive to a human being as far as life is concerned. To touch on the person's things that unite them, and from that matter, tribe. The moment you go after somebody in basis of tribe, the person will not take it kindly. Uh, People perceive Rotarians to be tribalistic, but I don't see it as such. I see it they are more loving to each other than people perceive them to be. If I were to be Togbi Afede, a paramount chief who have a lot of subjects under him, I don't think Togbi himself will instruct that Canada Japan should be treated the way he was treated. Togbi that I know, your mic is it's off.
Sorry about that. Do you think Togby himself would have sanctioned the invitation of Kennedy
Togbi
Japan to
will
serve as
never do
president?
that.
Okay.
He will never do that. But I know people or subjects who were hurt by the kind of the remarks Canada Japan made out of enthusiasm and loyalty to their tribe and their king who can go overboard. What I find very strange is the secretary who invited the Canada Japan to the program. I am surprised he could do that without consulting the appropriate authorities for an advice.
Mm-hmm.
And for that matter, bringing by his action or unilateral decision, so to speak, bringing the name of the entire traditional council into a disrepute.
Right.
For me, I think if there is any punishment that should be mitigated to him, they should go ahead and mitigate that punishment.
You heard Togbi Jomachi say.
I heard him, but I disagree with him in that regard because
He said there are so many ways to resolve
okay,
this type
okay.
of things, right?
So other than that, the way the
Punishment.
traditional council is being vilified, is being called of name. Last week, I heard somebody conducted a show on this very platform on Sunday. The kind of comments that were being made, for me as a Votarian, I am unhappy with some of the comments that was made on that.
You mean
platform.
on Akko Radio?
Absolutely. If Togbi does not have a hand, who is the custodian of the entire celebration and the community, have no hand in inviting Kennedy Japan. By the end of the day, his name will be dragged into this controversy. The
Even
only way he
he
can.
has no hand in the invitation, he has a hand in the refusal of gifts. We actually even thought they actually kicked Kennedy Japan out of the Delver, but as we were told by Togbi Jomachi, he was not kicked out. But the point is, Togbi has a hand in not accepting the gifts brought by Kennedy Japan. So it's fair game to kind of pull him into this discussion, don't you think?
No, it can't be done because Togbi knew very well that if he invited a person to his program or his deba, automatically, as we said in our local dialect, you don't go to a chief with an empty hand. Okay, so if Togbi is in the know of Kennedy Japan's invite, he would have also been willing to accept his gift. There is no way he will invite the person.
What has the invite to do with the gift?
It has something to do. You can't just invite me to your house, okay, and I will accept to come. And when I come to your house and you offer me a water to drink, and I'll say no, vice versa.
Okay.
You get it? So
okay, learn for
I
me. So I
think
can
the only way Togbi and the traditional council can fully exonerate themselves is to punish the person who sent the letter without the consent of the traditional council.
Do you think that is necessary?
It is to serve as a deterrent that to people who have been assigned responsibility that you can't just get out and do things on your own. That will bring at the end of the day shame to all of us.
Like I was
it is very important.
Like I was saying on our platform, the fact that you invited somebody, does that revoke your right to uninvite the person? Does that mean you don't have a right to uninvite the person or revoke that invitation?
Alfred, people
you may have done a mistake. Does that mean you can fix your mistake? And if you do so, why should you be punished?
Yes. Alfred, let me ask you this question. Should what happen in Otunfo's palace? Will that person be allowed to go scot-free?
I don't know what Otunfo will do, so I can't say it. I can't speak to that. Okay. But anyway, you made your point.
Somebody went to sell a lamb without his consent. I saw what he did to the person. Just a lamb. He went and sold the lamb without his performing.
That's a different matter, right? I mean,
no, it is similar. It is tradition have protocols. Have protocols. So if you break those protocols, it must come with punishment.
It's just the comparison kind of throws me off a little bit because
that is not what I'm not trying to.
Talking about chiefs being
but what I want to say is that we have a traditional
language alienating their custody to land. It's a bigger issue than just an invitation, don't you think?
To some of us, that is the only way we can be highly convinced that he wasn't in a known as far as the invite is concerned. But the person do it unilaterally, and his action have brought this dispute to the entire traditional council, and that is the only way to cleanse it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Lifetime, you've been waiting. Any feedback? Anything you've heard so far that answered your questions from Togbi Jomachi the second?
Yeah, for me, I think
you're done with your part. I'm looking at Mr. Kojo DC at this point. Kojo, have you heard anything from Togby? And Lifetime, keep your camera up so we can see you. I need more than my face here. Have you heard anything, right, from Togby that's helped answer some questions you may have, or raise more questions in your head?
All right. Thank you very much, Alfred. Thanks for your. We say hello to your listeners and the viewers at the same time. So on this very occasion, right? I have always said this thing on your platform that we should respect our earthly people, especially the chiefs and kings in our tradition, as those respect are demanded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me put that one across. And then secondly, let me say this, we all cherish our tribes, our traditions in a way. So no matter what um, kind of tradition or ethnicity that you're from, being small or big, everybody cherishes. We have this thing saying in our camp, be an ordinance, right? So
Right.
I for me, and as let me say it, I want to find a word for this. I am kind of a multifaceted of tradition. I have kids with some are Airways. I have two kids with are from Airways.
Can you like be a little loud because it's difficult to hear? Yeah.
So for me, I am multifaceted family.
So you're telling me that you married a Ewe woman?
Yes. I have two kids.
I did not know that.
Yes. So and that's
So
why
right now you need to give me like a bottle of something,
In fact, we must hold you to play brother-in-law body.
Of course. It sounds like he owes me a bottle of something.
Absolutely.
My blood sister is an Airway. My father married to an Airway too.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. So it's not just being an Airway or a gun. I have a gun bladder. Like every one blood father, right? So in my family, we don't want to hear anything about this is from who is this one is from here, and then because I
don't think this is a tribal issue. I think this is a disrespectful issue. You're talking about a member of parliament who disrespect.
I'm coming up to something. I will come to Kennedy Japan, but I'm just giving you a preview of how the mindset of all of us goes. It's like when you hear that disrespect, it comes up to something. Oh, because it's so and so. My brother Lifetime even made an example of, do you think Otunfo would have done it? And then it switches it a little bit, right? That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, that example is but go ahead.
Yes, so let me come to Kennedy, and this is the first thing I want to say. First of all, the Yam Festival is bringing people together, right? So if that is the case, and somebody have disrespected the king in whatever way which is not recommended in any way, shape, or form, at that very moment, if your secretary have made a mistake of inviting the person that has disrespected the paramount chief, I don't think at the event that is where you show those things. You see, the talking point of everything is where the thing happened. If it had happened before the festival, that would be well, like my brother Lifetime said, him feeling sapine. So definitely once he has been invited, there's a letter that has been invited. If Kennedy Japan, for instance, had refused not to go, that would be another disrespect as well. You know that.
I think the letter from the secretary indicated that Kennedy seek the invitation himself. He requested. Hear me out.
The invitation was sent to Ghana by the chairperson of the Ghana Gas Company, and it's addressed to Honorable Candidate Ohine Japan. I have the letter.
No, I am focusing on Stephen Tete's letter.
No, that is
or
it's called afterthought. We all have afterthought, right? Once
no,
the
no. But
thing
I'm saying
happens,
that Stephen, in his letter, stated clearly that Kennedy Japan requested to attend, and upon that request, an invitation was sent to him. So, it's significant because we got to realize that I want us to kind of think through whether or not the invitation was just sent to this guy and he did attend, or whether he went seeking for it.
so
He went seeking for it from what the letter says.
so this is the question I will put it to you. So in the Aswagale farm tradition, if there's a festival, do they invite people or people ask for invitation? I don't think we do anything such a
I
thing.
mean, we're just talking about the specific case of Kennedy Japan. So
Exactly.
I don't want to kind of paint make a blanket statement that people get invited or people seek invitation. What we are saying is, in the specific case of Kennedy Japan, from the letter we saw, it appears Kennedy asked for his presence in the observation of the Yam Festival, and subsequently there was an invitation sent.
I disagree with that. I have not heard from Honorable Kennedy Japan.
No, but that's what the letter says. He hasn't disputed that, right? He could have disputed that.
That's what I'm saying. He's been very diplomatic these days, so maybe he thinks he doesn't want to really respond to so many things.
But his outward, we can only go by what he displays, right? If he rejects that, I mean, we will go by that. But he hasn't rejected that so far. So let's go by what he has not rejected. And let's not read any more meaning into what hasn't been said. What has been said was he wanted to be there. And therefore was invited.
If you say so, then it means that we have to take the secretary's words, which then we cannot even.
Yeah, that's the only word we have now. So we take it for it.
Then we always sit on this radio and then we talk about things that we don't know. Why don't we always stick to it? We cannot even put ourselves and sticking to somebody's without we thinking for ourselves and insinuating, quote unquote, for whatever might have happened. We cannot do that. It's something
I'm saying we can't draw inferences into people's thinking when we don't know what they're thinking. So I cannot say that Kennedy necessarily did not. If Kennedy didn't,
okay, Alfred, you give me the chance to speak, please.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing. If Kennedy have asked for invitation, why was he addressed to the chairperson of the Ghana Gas? So Kennedy don't own Ghana Gas.
I don't know the capacity.
Why wasn't he invited as Honorable Kennedy Japan as MP for Asin Central? Why
wouldn't that depend on the capacity in which he asked for the request? He requested to attend. If you requested to attend in a certain capacity, you should be responded to in that capacity. Wouldn't that be the case?
But does that make sense? If I requested to be there as Honorable Kennedy Japan, and then I have to be,
which we don't know.
Exactly. So
I'm saying from the document we've seen, it would be proper to infer that Kennedy's request was in the capacity of.
Well, the letter that came out, the secretary said that Kennedy asked for invitation to be as the board chairperson or as an MP for Asin Central. That thing was not also provided. That information was not provided. It's just saying blank that Kennedy has asked for invitation to attend the Yam Festival. But the person did not explain and say, at the end of the day, Kennedy asked for invitation as a member of parliament for Asin Central or as a member of the Ghana.
The letter didn't clarify that, but it just says Kennedy asked for the invitation. And so let's go by that. He requested to attend, and an invitation was sent to him. I just want to make sure we are on the same page with that he was the initiator. He initiated this whole thing.
I don't believe that at all. Until there's a better particulars to show that.
But Kennedy didn't dispute this, so why don't we believe that? The only evidence we have in front of us is that
That,
he requested it. So
silence.
what other information do you have on which you are basing your disbelief for the fact that he was actually the one who initiated this? Do you have any other information to that respect?
Hold on. So the fact that somebody's not speaking doesn't mean that they don't have anything to speak about.
No, but I'm saying the person is not speaking, and you are basing this on what? The fact that the person is not speaking, you are in their mind now, you're thinking for them, or what are you doing? I'm trying to kind of put my hand around
All right.
where you get this whole
because there's no clarity in terms of the letter saying that it was Kennedy who initiated the invitation.
that's what
Hold on.
Stevens letter
Hold on.
says.
Hold on. And in what capacity was he asking for the invitation and represent who? As Kennedy Japan, or a member of parliament for Asin Central, or as Kennedy Japan as a board chairperson of the Ghana Gas company. You understand? So you don't tell me to just stick to whatever I have now. I also have questions to ask. And until those better particulars are out, and then we can put all into comparison and say, yes, it's true. And what letter was it just a word of mouth from the Kennedy to the secretary, say, hey, I want that? Or was it a written letter coming from Kennedy Japan that was sent to the secretary to do that? Unless we have all those things, you see, we can't just take everybody's word and then just move on. Like you always do on this platform. You always have to ask questions. Until we are provided with the better particulars, that is fine. But for me, this thing should have happened at all. And even if it would have happened, what I was thinking was, the traditional leaders, as elders as they are, as respectful as we respect them, yes, they should have just
What does that mean?
It means that the person has erred against you, whatever means that they have disrespected you. Because you are the older person, or you in quote unquote, you are the father, you have a way of dealing with it in a different way. You could have sanctioned him and then say something after, even though he was not chased out of the. From what I heard from Kennedy's people is that after he wanted to make the presentation, he wanted to do it after certain dignitaries who are already there, because Kennedy had a function back to Accra, right? So he wanted to do it earlier than the people that he met, and then they said no, we can't do that. So he even left the occasion. He sat down for them and left the occasion and came to Accra. But this thing shouldn't have happened, especially when it's a festival of bringing people together. That's not where you discriminate, or that's where you start dividing people. Whatever reservation they had, they could have aired it after the festival, which is successful anyway. But this has tainted it more. We are not even talking much about how the festival went, with the things that was said over there, but we are talking about.
We on this program talked about how the festival went. All right, what the significance of it was, and we are now addressing the Kennedy issue. But would you accept that somebody who disrespected you into your home and have dinner with him and then later on deal with him because he disrespected you, or would you draw a marker in? Would you say that I do not tolerate disrespectful people in my house?
All right. So, and then people will say, then why did you invite the person? You say, oh, the Tugbe didn't know. That doesn't mean
the invitation was in error. Can you make an error?
You don't let me land. Are you saying that the secretary only writes letters to everyone without consulting anybody, elders, anything, and so the chiefs and everything don't know anything about the letters that are written for invitations? Are you saying that?
According to Togwi Joe Machi, who we just spoke to, this is not a letter that was popularized among the chiefs for them to opine on.
So why did they write it? This means that the chiefs are not in charge. The secretary is more powerful than the chiefs.
No, I mean, come on. For me, for instance, or even for you, I don't know your situation, but I'm saying that it's not anything that
you see, when you base everything on, oh, this is what I've had, and it is suited your thinking of everything, it's fine with you. I am asking.
No, but I'm saying that I want you to listen to this part. It's not everything that you have to necessarily engage in, you know. It's not
No,
everything that you are.
but who decides that? Who decides that?
Yeah, but I'm saying invitations. Come on, you want Toby Akpata to be involved in invitations? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, of course, because the
No,
paramount chief. No,
no.
no, 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 no.
Are you
Hold on,
saying
hold on,
Toby? Are
hold
you
on,
saying? Are you saying
hold on, hold on, hold on,
Asantehene to be
hold on.
involved in the invitation of people who come into his
Of
palace?
course, that is your preference.
Asantehene.
Of
Then you don't
course.
know the places of. You need to kind of go and reorient yourself with the functions of people within the palace and everybody and what
Let
jobs
me
they
let
have
me
and
let,
what they
let me
have to
ask you
do.
let me ask you this question. We are inviting the Ghana president or two for him to the Queen's funeral. So you mean Prince King Charles doesn't know about it? He doesn't know about invitation of dignity. We're not talking about any
I don't think
ordinary
King
people.
Charles
We're
is
talking
involved.
about
I don't think King
dignitaries
Charles is
who are
involved
going
in
to
the
sit in
petty.
front with the king, and they
I
don't
don't
know
think King
about those
Charles
people.
is involved. For me, I don't think
No,
King
no,
Charles
no.
is
It's like
involved in the petty
no, 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 no.
invitations that are
He's
extended to dignitaries
of
who will be
course.
attending.
Of course. So I'm asking you a question. If you are doing an outdooring for your son, your daughter, and you are inviting people, you are not involved. Somebody sitting somewhere that your personal assistant will just invite anybody that he wants without you being involved. Is
My
that what you're saying?
outdooring is on a micro scale, but we're talking about a very
They are
macro
the
scale
same.
right now.
This is a
All right.
paramount. Everything was under his leadership. No,
Okay.
you see, don't say, you say, I need orientation. I don't need orientation. This is a simple thing. Everybody knows. If I'm doing something,
No,
a party
you
or something.
comparing my personal outdooring to a festival.
No,
They're two
no.
different things.
It's the
You
same
know.
thing. You see,
Anyway,
you see, so you're saying something that I don't know what to say. It's like, why wouldn't the chief know that a chief executive of any company is coming to his festival? Why? Can you even give me any reason why he wouldn't know?
look, there's just so much going on within the chieftaincy. I'm sure you need to understand that. Maybe we'll make you a chief in.
You
We'll
are
make you a
shifting
chief in.
now.
We'll make you a chief in Ketusaf. You know, just so you can kind of get appreciation of some of these things.
Now,
Anyway, thanks so much
you let
for.
me learn. Listen.
All right.
It is for me, and I have always said, and you know, I've said on this radio, and I said, it is very disrespectful to disrespect anybody, especially when they are older than you. You can have your differences with them. There's a way of bringing out our differences. But if anybody have to disrespect, especially a king, a chief, or anything, that is uncalled for. But
All right.
sometimes I was saying this, the traditional leader could have done better of not showing anything in the public at that moment. And this is what we want to do. Or they could have seen somebody else who know, and I know the general secretary just don't. He did not even just came from heaven and become a general secretary. He's lived in Ghana. He have known what Dr. Depon has said several times about the king. And if the Kennedy have called him,
Let me ask you a final question, right?
let me finish, and then you ask me the question. If Kennedy have called him and say, "Hey, Ken, I can't give you an invitation because you've insulted my king previously, so I'm not doing that." But for him to just go ahead and do that and then come back and say afterthought, "Oh no, it was a mistake," that is not acceptable in any
All right.
situation. Now you can ask me the question.
Awesome. Have you seen the things Kennedy said about Toby Feather and the Asogbe State?
I am not condoning that, and I'm not.
No. It's a yes or no question. Have you seen those things?
I've said, because even the letter that the secretary issued about Kennedy calling Togbe so. I'm not going to repeat those things here. I
Okay.
said,
Do you approve of any of those things? Do you approve of any of those things?
No, I don't. I have always said that on your platform. I don't.
If somebody say any of those things to you, do you think that person is a friend or foe?
I don't have friends, I don't have food, because life is really unfair, and I don't control
All right.
what people say. Hold on. I don't control
Mr.
what
Neutral.
if you think somebody will say something to you and that will change your life or that will make your life, then you have a problem. you are you. You have to be you. You don't have to think about what people say. You have to have a thick skin to be in leadership. So
All right, that's
you
your
don't have to be
prescription.
worried about that.
We'll
That's
take that, and then we'll move on to. I mean, fair.
Alfred,
You have your
Alfred,
prescription for what you want to
Alfred.
say.
You see,
Yes, right. But before
this
I
is
go, I need to go to Paul. So whatever you
okay.
have to say it in like 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So that is, I quite agree with. Oh my goodness.
Okay, just keep talking. It's fine. All right. Can you hold that thought while we go to Paul? Paul is also.
Yes, Alfred, thank you.
Yes.
I've been listening to the discussion that
Uh-huh.
has been going on, and let me say, when you were speaking to the Togbi, I was not listening to, or I did not listen to what he said.
Right.
But when it comes to this Togbi affair there, and then this Kennedy Japan saga, the
Mhm.
least said about Kennedy Japan, the better.
At the next light,
Right.
Kennedy Japan has been a total disrespect, not only to, the king of Ashok state, but to a lot
Mhm.
of elderly people and a lot of, senior citizens in Ghana.
All
Kennedy
right.
Japan has become untouchable in Ghana, and as a result, he's taking advantage of that, and he's trying to
Why
send
is
his
that so?
disrespect.
Why has it become untouchable? I mean,
Untouchable because he's a powerful
uh-huh.
person in the NPP, and he always threatened them that if they try to, get to him, he's going to expose them. That is why, he has gotten the wings to be doing what he's doing. Alfred, I will not spend much or waste much time on this Kennedy Japan because, as I stated, the least said about him, the better.
Right.
If he think he can disrespect chiefs in the Volta region and he is claiming to be a candidate of the MPP, we wait to see. This is the way I will
Well,
present my issue.
I think the message has been sent too. If you think you can disrespect chiefs in the voter origin, you will not be talking about further orders on the state. I think that
Yeah,
has
we
been
wait to see.
clear.
Yeah, we wait to see.
All
So
right.
I will just leave it here, and I will not spend my precious energy and time on Kennedy Japan because Kennedy Japan is it's not worth it for me to waste my time on. So let's move
Okay.
on.
So hold it while you are there. I want to bring you to this next question, which is um, the Galamsey. Galamsey is continuing to devastate our country, our land. Some city centers currently are being harvested for gold. Um, and one somebody in the person of Aisha
in
Hong,
1.6 miles, turn left onto Washington Street.
who have been currently charged with illegal mining and selling of minerals illegally in our country, was somebody who was arrested in 2017 for the same charges, but was let go. Why? Because apparently it doesn't make any sense for us to prosecute her in our country, especially when we were asking for help from China. So international legal and relationships kind of merged on this Aisha One issue. So apparently Aisha One was either deported or, as you know, the descriptions are currently flowing around, either deported or what was the other word? Repatriated. Whichever we don't know yet. Even the president doesn't know. Anyway, she has found herself again in our country. Do you think this war on Galamsey is being contributed to positively by the arrest of someone like Aisha One? One more time. Because
Um,
she could have been spared, but she's
well,
been arrested. Would you credit the government with progressing steadily in
Alfred,
the war?
this Galamsey issue is killing our country softly.
Mhm,
As we speak, the water bodies, our reserves, forest reserves, are all
mhm.
being destroyed by, Galamsey people who are engaging in illegal mining. Now, let's come down and see what are the effects of these things that they are doing. Alfred, let us all be very careful as a country. Let's put politics aside. Let's look at the interest of country. Our water bodies are being destroyed. Our forest reserve are being destroyed. They'll get to a time whereby even water to drink, we're not going to get it. We will end up importing water from other countries. There will be a time whereby all our forest reserve will be destroyed and such in such a way that climatic issues or climate issues will be a big issue onto us back in Ghana. Look,
Mm-hmm.
this Galamsey issue has been an issue since the former administration, and the former administration tried to fight it. You remember the popular
Galaxy has been an issue
saying that
since independence.
yes, it has been an issue since, but there's a popular saying where the ex administration was trying to put measures in place. That was when Akufo-Addo became or took it as a campaign promise, told the people that Mebabe Sheikh Kina, I'm coming to even encourage you guys more to do Galamsey. And when he took power, Galamsey has become a big issue in our country. Now, let me say that this Aisha Wang issue that we are speaking about, personally, for me personally, I mean, it's unfortunate, it is very sad that the number one gentleman of the land, His Excellency President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, today does not even know whether Aisha Wang was repatriated or deported, and that is
Why is
sad
that
and that is
important to
disturbing.
you? I mean, he was taken out of the she was taken out of the country. Does it matter that she was deported or
You see,
repatriated?
as the number one gentleman of the country, you have the security forces at your disposal. You have the
Mm-hmm.
Minister for Mines at your disposal, Minister for
Mm-hmm.
National Security, Minister for Defense. All these resources are at your resource at your disposal. So it will be
Mm-hmm.
a very detrimental issue for you to come and tell us that either he was repatriated or deported, which we don't know. The president is saying one thing, his senior minister or Safumas is saying another thing. Now, the president is trying to let us know that he is not on top of issues. That is why the president have to make a statement to contradict what his senior minister have said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this Asha
Tell
Wang
us
issue,
what has the senior minister said for the
the
benefit
senior
of
minister said there is no
viewers?
benefit for keeping or jailing Asha Wang. Did not bring any economic benefit, and that
Do you
that
agree?
it is not true. It is not true.
I
Asha
mean,
Wang,
at the point we were asking China for Sino-Hydro, which is a
my
contract
brother,
to
my brother. You see,
build roads in Ghana in exchange of
the
bauxite.
sad
Do you
the
think?
sad part of the whole issue is that okay,
Mm-hmm.
China also have gold reserves, but these people or this Aisha Wang and the other Chinese nationals who are destroying our land and our water body with the collaboration of some of our Ghanaian patriots.
Mm-hmm.
This thing you can't do this thing in China. I think the time has come for us to put politics aside, NDC, NPP aside. Let us all come together and collaborate and fight this minute. Because if we don't fight this minute in our country, there will be a time that it's going to be very difficult for us to live. Now, this morning I was listening to News File, and there was a report that most of these young folks who are in the mining areas are developing, kidney issues, whereby
Mm-hmm.
most of them have to be on hold, where most of where most of them have to be on what dialysis. Look,
Mm-hmm.
let's stop thinking about the money we are going to get today and think about the future.
Mm-hmm.
All these folks who are in danger, whose life are in danger, who are developing kidney problem, liver problem, and all those stuff. We are not looking at the long term. We are looking at the short term. And these few selfish individuals are trying to break and destroy the whole country because of their selfish gain. That is why I am
Mm-hmm.
saying that I'm not going to do politics this afternoon. But the only issue that I am very disturbed and worried about is about our president, who does not even know what is going on in the country that he claimed to be a president in. I am appealing
Right.
to all comrades over here that let's us all come together and let's find a way by which we can fight this minute. Because what is going to happen is that if we don't fight it, we don't collaborate, even if NDC is tipped to come to power in 2024, when
Mm-hmm.
NDC will come to power 2024, the same thing will be affecting us. Let us find a way by which we can come together,
2025.
and then all 2025 when NDC come to power, if we don't fight it
Mm-hmm.
now, this problem will be remaining or will be there to face us. Let's all
All
come
right.
together as a party, as a country, as Ghanaians. What are the measures that we can put in place? We are not saying people should not mine, but they should mine by following the rules regulations so that they will not destroy our water body and our forest reserve. It is true. I
Yeah.
heard a minister this morning saying that gold is still one of the best big foreign export earner to our economy. We agree to that. But we are not going to say because of that we should allow our water bodies and the forest reserve and the lands, farmlands to be destroyed. Let us also get the experts. Let's get those who know, have idea in the mining sector to all come together. Let's sit on a table. Let's find a way by which we can put measures in place to avoid and make sure that those people who are engaging in this mining do it legally, not illegally,
I think
legally,
you've cut off. You
so
went
that
in and out.
we reserve and preserve our water body. Now, if you
Perfect.
watch,
All right. I think you went in and out a little
I
bit.
understand that water company, Ghana Water Company, is
Paul, I think your
is on
sound. I think your sound is your sound
acting
is going in and out.
for
I think he's
So
driving. The internet is not helping me out.
money.
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is
Why?
I want to read from Paul.
Because the water that they
Paul, your sound is going
get
in and out. So if you
that
can
they
figure that out at some point,
from the east,
fix it and come back on. But what I
they
want
have
to do is read
maybe 25 to
from
30.
the minister
Uh,
of.
Hello, Alfred, can you hear me?
Yeah, your sound was going in and out. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? Paul, I think your sound was
Yeah,
going in
Alfred,
and
can
out.
you hear me?
Yeah, your sound was going in and out, but I
Can you
can hear
hear
you
me?
now. I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So as I was saying, I'm saying that
Uh,
let us all
summarize
put
it and learn so we can
yes, let us
yeah.
all put politics aside. Let's work
Okay.
as a team. Let's bring all stakeholders together. Let's put a straight and very good policies in place to guide those who still want to do in the mining, to guide them in the way they are going to mine, so that we can preserve our water and our farmlands. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Talking about putting policies together, I have a policy here that I'm gonna read out. Which is a letter, a press statement or a press release that we just got from the Minister of Lands. And he says that on Friday, the 16th September 2022, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Samuel A. Jinapor MP, chaired a meeting of the Ministerial Coordination Committee on Illegal Mining, made up of the Deputy Chief of Staff. He went over the names of everybody else in that paragraph. And then he came to say that the meeting reviewed various steps and strategies that are being implemented to clamp down on illegal mining, particularly in forest reserves and river valleys. It was observed that despite the recalcitrance of some of the cartels involved in this illegal enterprise, lots of strides have been made. So he's saying that he's made a lot of strides. And then he went on to say that it was also observed that despite the goodwill of some people who give information about illegal mining to aid the fight, there are also some who have taken to circulate old videos to count public disaffection towards the fight against illegal mining. And this is the part that kind of irritates my mindsets. For me, I don't understand why it is important for the minister when he is doing this to kind of state that some people have been circulating old videos. He went on to say that after an extensive review of the operation so far, it was agreed as follows. And what he said, it agrees as follows, seemed to state that one, we still have the problem. We are still manipulating, we are still mobilizing our resources to fight that problem. All the way to the end of the letter, he still described the problems that we have. So my question is being that why are you even veering from discussing this very important issue to talk about people circulating old videos? Whether they are circulating old videos of water bodies being damaged or not, what has that to do with whether Galamsey is still going on? Because it's clear, you in your own letter went on to state all the things you would do to fight Galamsey, which means Galamsey is life and thriving. I see it as some arrogance of leadership. I don't know how you see it as, but let me put this to Lifetime Legacy. Lifetime Legacy. Oh, well, let me go to Kojo first. Then we come to Lifetime Legacy. Kojo, I see this as some arrogance of leadership.
So,
Where,
so,
yeah.
so you see, I don't know. I wouldn't choose that word. If you see, say you disagree with them, that is fine. You know, a moment ago, me and you was disagreeing on how things and how I have to think for something, right? Yeah, and you also have it because as of now, we don't have any proof that what the minister is saying is not right. That people are circulating old videos to
But what does it
sabotage their.
matter?
No, so you see, before you solve a problem, you should know the problem, right? And we
No,
have that
but, but,
thing.
but, but what I'm saying is that, right, he has not acted in any way to solve the circulation of old videos. There's nothing in that letter that
There's
address
nothing.
solutions to, and to
There's
be honest, there's no solution to the circulation of old videos. So I see
exactly.
my
So
minister who's paid with the taxpayers' money, all right, who's supposed to address an issue that is peculiar and perpetuating issue
no,
that is peculiar. Hold on.
I've read.
But that minister
Forget.
chose the real estate is chose a very important real estate, a very important estate in his letter to address old videos circulations. That's political. That has
Was it?
nothing to do
Was
with
it?
the issue that he has in
Oh,
front of him that he needs to solve. And to
hold
me,
on.
there is an arrogance of leadership. Like
All right.
he should never use that real estate. When
Hold
he's
on.
addressing this, he should be respectful of we, the people of that country, of Ghana,
Hold
enough
on.
for him not to be telling us what videos we circulate or not, because he has not proposed a solution to that. The solutions he proposed is about the issues that we are circulating the videos about. I leave that to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. And then if you let me, so I disagree with what you're thinking is on that very particular thing. The reason is just simple. The fact that people are circulating videos which nobody has control of doesn't mean we should not speak about it. We are and act and letting people know the awareness of it is like there are some progress that are being made. Is it enough? No. And today, if Paul was here, I would have hugged him. I think he have done a yeoman's job, right? It's a good thing. This Galamsey thing is not something anybody should play politics with. He said initially that when we were coming into power in 2016, we said, well, Yebeshe Mokina, and I'm not disputing that. The former president also have done the same thing, even going to the extent that people who have caused damage and done crimes and in prison, when he comes into power in 2020, he was going to leave them to come back and do. We have circulations of videos of members of the NDC, prominent members of the NDC, going out telling people, yeah, do a no, yeah, buy a We have all of that. But Paul have said something that I am 100% in agreement with him. And that is, this thing is not about MPP and this is about Ghana and the future of Ghana and the well-being. Or I have even go to extent. This is like we are extinguishing the entire population because the food that we grow in our villages. No, but unlike here that we have the FDAs when you go to Kroger or you go to this supermarket, there's a certification of this food has this content. And we don't have such a thing in our villages. We go there, we go bring some cassava from there, and you see it on the road. When a bunch of there saying we buy it, we go cook it and eat without knowing any content of it, right? So please, this thing is supposed to be one of the things, even if we disagree on everything. This is one thing that will affect each of every one of us, because some people, big men sitting in Accra, they eat yam too, they eat body, plantain, they eat cassava, right? So when the food come and your maid servant or whoever, your cook go and buy, and by the time you get from work, whatever time, you eat and you're killing yourself. And I've been saying this thing that this morning they were saying on what do you call it, news file. People are dying young. If you go to Ghana, I go to Ghana every 3 months or 4 months most of the time. You see young people dying, and all these deaths are caused by kidney failure. And do you think what is happening? Go to the village, my village where I'm from, Apepem. And now I can't even drink brim. I used to drink brim. That is when we're young, right? You can't see any fish in brim anymore. My village is where the brim starts from, and they are all dirty. Now people are buying in a village where they don't even. Sometimes I don't think people have even 50 Ghana cedis
All
in
right.
their
So
account.
so yeah, I understand that, right? But
I am not going to do politics about it.
there's a bigger elephant in the room that we need to actually tackle, which is
Which one? What is the elephant?
which is the fact that party here's a car, you know. We need money for political
Don't
campaigns.
even bring it. You see, Alfred, please, on this very show for this very particular topic, take all the insinuations of politics of both sides out.
No, this is political.
It
is political. It is political to the extent that we have to
we
finance political campaigns. I mean, let me learn.
And
okay, I'll give you enough time to answer.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah. See. The reason I'm saying this, in my village, when the first time that I went to see this thing in Ghana, the people who were in power was the previous government, and they were doing it. They took
Which
one vote from my.
But I'm saying.
So that's the reason I'm saying this is that if we start doing, NDC breast, when people's breast, we will not solve this problem.
No, but hear me out. You heard Paul told you, all right? You heard Paul told you that when Akufo-Addo was campaigning for 2016 to be elected for president, he made it clear to the people that
did he say the same thing about the former president?
Coming to actually, but I'm saying that it is political because the party needs money. The party needs money to finance political campaigns.
Alfred.
And we know that most of that comes from this galamsey. So the government looks away. Because here's the thing: if the government is committed to fighting galamsey, it's been 6 years. What have you done? We cannot be talking about the same issue for 6 years, and you telling us that it's a national issue. You are in charge.
Is it or is it not?
Well, but you are in charge.
No. You are not.
Are you just realizing that it's a national issue?
Hold on. Just hold on for me, right? You just refer my brother Paul saying that Akufo-Addo say when I come, Meshemokina, forgetting that the former president, who was the president then, when he became an opposition leader, said the same thing that
It's not about equalizing here. No, to be honest, it's not about. I'm saying that you are in charge. You are even in charge today.
And
you can stop galamsey today.
Hold on. How many years was in NDC? How many years was NDC? You see, you are bringing politics.
Right. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Let me finish.
Well, you keep going behind.
No, because you want to hear something that will suit your thinking, and that's not what I want to do. I have cited to you today, and I said I agree 100% with my brother Paul D'Souza for saying this. But you want to drag us into politics, then we say equal. And once you say something about Anado, I'll say something about President.
Isn't it political? You've been in charge for 6 years. What have you done?
Let me ask you this question. When my brother Paul started and said, he started in the previous year, you went back and said, since independent. So what are the independent people did? You are not answering your own questions.
I'm not disputing that with you. The issue in contention is you are in charge today.
We are doing our best. That's the thing you are forgetting. That the thing
So
that
do you think the arrest of Ashawan is positive for the Galamsey fight?
in a way that nobody is able to fix it the way we are supposed to fix it, even though both parties have done their work in terms of what they do. Former Minister for Lands and Alhaji Inusa Husseini deported a lot of Chinese. Did they stop? No. They had almost 3 different ministerial what do you call it, task forces.
Well, I'm enjoying your recitation of the history of failures that we've gone through, but I'm saying that you are in charge. So you just telling me that we failed here, we failed there. It has not helped me, and it has not helped my listeners
Do you
who
have
are
any?
interested in a
Amos, do you have
solution.
any solution? Do you have any solution that you can bring out now?
Well, here's
Do
the
you
thing. Maybe the people who want to come to power should have some solution. And I'm going to go
No, no,
back to
no.
what I'm
We are
doing.
sitting here criticizing both parties, and
That's
this
my job.
because the reason why we are not progressing is because we are politicizing, and this is the only time 2 people from different parties are agreeing that this is a national issue. We should focus, and you, the host, is trying to do politics with it.
No, I'm not
That's
satisfied
good.
enough that the two parties. I'm not satisfied enough that the two parties are telling me that historically this has been a problem and we leave it at that. So let me go to the other party again and ask them. They want to come to power. What is their solution? Lifetime legacy. You guys want to come to power. What are you going to do about Galamsey? Is the arrest of Aisha one, in your opinion, positive to the fight on Galamsey or not?
Thank you, Alfred. Alfred, you should have allowed my brother Kwejo to finish
Well,
his.
you can yield your time to him, Kojo. He
Yeah, to
wants to yield
finish
your.
his. No, he. The what do you call it? There is something that unite them together, and he was making that statement. And you allow. I say, "Achinkra onum bremu."
Well,
Go to one bag. What?
You get it? When you
yield your
hear
time to him, Kojo. You can come back in and finish your stuff.
Alfred, when you
No,
hear
let
that
him.
word
It's okay.
and susubiribi, then you should know that a chin person is speaking.
All right.
My brother Kojo, I hope I'm not deviated from the truth.
No. I said, I'm tipping. I'm at him. Maybe free Chebia Pepem. I'm a fool at him. My mother is at him. My father is Ashanti. But you did and Nadia, so I'm at him.
Anyway, I am not, but the former DC for Etiwa and the wife is the wife's mother happens to be the queen mother for Achima Safo. So that is how close I knew most of your stuff.
Aman told me, yes,
Anyway, Alfred, this particular issue for me and the lady in question, when I hear it, I get so upset beyond a word that can describe my level of obsessity. Alfred, you know, the only way the Galamsey fight can be successful is by people who are in authority not having interest in it. It looks like those in authority knew very well that it's a means of income or they can be rich in getting involved. And for that matter, they are only working on the surface, pretending that they are solving the problem. Underground, they are rather
Campaign financing.
they are rather doing the Western. I have witnessed Galamsey under Rollins. I saw Galamsey under Kufuor. I saw Galamsey under Atta Mills. I saw Galamsey under Mahama. I want to say on authority, Galamsey have been worse under Akufo-Addo than all the presidents I have mentioned. I am not saying it because of any motive or hatred or whatever, but it looks like if all of us on this platform want to be fair and objective, Galamsey have been worsened under Akufo-Addo than all administration. My brother Kojo, let me take you back. In 2012, I was in Etiwa. I saw Bremu. In 2016, prior to
Wrap it
the
up
election,
first. Oh, this is your segment, right? So 5 minutes, please.
prior to before 2016 election, I was in Etiwa. I saw Bremu. I don't know whether in those particular years that I've mentioned, you were around to see the way the Bremu was clean and compare it to the current status as it is now, if it's something good to talk about. You get it? So I was expecting you, even though you decided that you will not go political, you admit that under the leadership of your native person or Nanado, the Galamsey fight have been worse than it used to be. It breaks my heart anytime there is this discussion about this lady, this Chinese lady. I get the impression that the government and the media have made it look so extraordinary or so powerful. It looks to me like they have created an impression and a picture that seems to me the lady is more powerful than the country Ghana, and for that matter, can decide to do whatever she wants to do in the country, and nobody will call her to order. Alfred, Kojo, my senior comrade Paul, the three of us or the four of us over here on this platform are not a native of America. We are all foreigners here. Can any of us get up in the morning, go to any of the streets or any of the communities where we live, and begin to dig and nobody will question you? Can any of us, the four of us on this platform, can any of us get up in the morning and then pick a pickaxe and a shovel, go to any community and begin to dig and nobody will question us? Even if the law enforcement do not question us, the citizenry will question us or will begin to ask, why are you digging this place and what for? Is that what is happening in our country? The lady is doing what she's doing because there are political elements under her. There are political elements supporting her. And I don't see it make nonsense of the entire country if we allow a single individual who is not an indigenous, who is not does not have what it takes to be in the country, to hold the entire country into ransom. It's completely annoying. It's very nauseating that an individual, how powerful can that lady be? Are we in any way suggesting that any of us on this platform?
She's a permanent resident granted by John Dramani Mahama.
So, regardless, you and I am a permanent resident in the US. Can I go around digging around and I will not be deported, regardless whether I have what it takes to be here? Can I take the law into my own hand and be doing everything that I want to do on this land? No. So why must we allow our country for foreigners to do what they are doing in the country with impunity? Solution to the problem is this. No political leadership who want to fight this Galamsey thing should be issuing licenses at the national level. That is one.
But the Galamseyers don't have license. So what are you talking about?
Well, they are issuing mining licenses to people to go to a certain community to mine.
That would not
the indigenous of those areas
that would not
doesn't
be,
even know.
that is not Galamsey, right?
You get it? So
if you have a license to mine, if you have a license to mine, you're not Galamsey.
Alfred, what I want to say is that the issuance of licenses to mine should be done at the district and the local level. Must be done by people from within the catchment where the mining is supposed to be done. That is the only way.
Lead to a lot of abuse too, though.
That is the only way they can check and weed out people who are not legitimate out. That is one. Two, the process of sending military men to communities where to go and police mining and those things will not work. The people within the locality should be rather employed. A task force should be employed in such community, well paid. Not you go and give them 60 Ghana, 600 Ghana every month. They should be well paid. If the government intend to fight this menace, to protect our forest, to protect our river bodies, they should employ people from the community, pay them well, give them proper incentive, give them things that will make their life better. And they should be the police within the community they are coming from. Right. And I can tell you, they will be able to weed out people who are not supposed to do what is being happening now. Let me give you a practical example. It is like somebody working at a narcotic control. Okay? If you want to let that person not be influenced by the drug peddlers, the only thing you can do is to pay that person well. Let that person have a comfortable life, and he or she will not be motivated by the influence that will come from those peddlers. But for me, I think Nanado and his administration are only paying a lip service to the fight against Galamsey.
All right, good, perfect. Thank you so much for that elaborate sort of narration of what should happen, solutions, etc. Let me bring in Kojo. Kojo, I want us to close the program. Kojo, I want us to close the program, right? But I need to hear from you on your last words. Use that opportunity to rebut, but at the same time, end for me with your last words, and then I will, transition through the rest of our guest.
Thank you very much. I was again.
Your voice is super low though, so whatever it is you have to do.
Hold on.
Let
me use my earpiece. Sometimes this vehicle's no help.
Yeah, I'm on the road.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. You see,
perfect. So, no, it's good now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is as much as I agree with my brother, Lifetime Legacy, in terms of the government employing this, but this is the question I also put to him. In all this that we are talking about in terms of the government not doing nothing, the government is doing a lot. How we also put our
like what?
Hold on. Let me finish my sentences. Then you see where I'm going.
When you say they're doing a lot, I just wanted to know what exactly they're doing.
Yes. Now, first of all, when we came into government, there was all illegal and legal small-scale mining. All was halted for almost close to two years, right? All the water bodies were being cleaned. As of now, the government has a lot of programs that is helping in terms of people in these communities to find alternative jobs. It's called alternative livelihood jobs. But nobody is going for it because the money is peanuts. I understand that. But this is what we are also not putting on mind.
Yes. Sorry, I have to interject you.
No, you're good, brother.
Sorry, I have to interject you. With that particular job you are talking about, your government only took job from the local force and give it to their party force.
They are all Ghanaians, for God's sake.
You see, so that is the reason why we will not. You see,
are you conceding to
will not be successful? Because if you take the job from one person and give it to your party force, they say a hungry man is a hungry lion.
A lion.
You get it. So I am not in any way disputing that they are not Ghanaians. But if the people in the community see that how criminal your administration has been, what are you telling them to do? You are telling them indirectly that they should also take the law into their own hand.
No. You see, what I was trying to arrive at is because those jobs that was given, was due to the fact that there was a lot of deterioration of our lands and water bodies, right? So the government halted those and they said, let's see if we can have you alternative jobs. Yes. It wouldn't mean that all the jobs that were held by certain people were taken from them and all was given to. Yeah, certain people will do that, and it happens in both parties. When you're in government, you expect some person or people who have suffered for your party to have certain jobs. I understand that, but that is not. This is what I was trying to arrive at. Has the communities that we all live in, is that a referendum that they want to stop Galamsey? Because at the end of the day, Nanado can sit in and have a ministerial, what the task force.
Do we need
The
a
DC,
referendum? Like, I mean, listen to
yes,
yourself.
no,
Listen
yes,
to yourself.
no. Alfred,
Like you started by saying that people are catching diseases.
Yes, because
Then you are now telling us that we need a referendum.
No. I'm saying this. I didn't say we now. I said, is it a referendum that the people want? That means, are the people ready to stop Galamsey? Because if the indigenous people are ready to stop Galamsey, the Galamsey will not go on. But the land that somebody has a cocoa on, does it belong to the government? Does it belong to Nanado?
No, you are telling me again. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, right? You're telling me that we have a government in place, but we are asking for the people to tell us
who's government? You know you're part of government. You know you're part of government. Do you know you're part of government?
You understand what I mean when I say we have a government in place? I mean, even the listeners, I'm sure, understand what we mean when we say we have a government in place. They're not counting me towards government. We are counting officialdom. All right, people we've elected into positions, people we've appointed, who have been appointed by the elected class. We are saying that we have them in place. But you are telling us that we have to go to the community and ask the communities what laws they want to be governed by. Is that what you're saying?
No. You've misquoted me and misunderstood me at the same time. Listen, what I'm saying is, if the people who are living in the villages, who are dying of kidney diseases, and they know that these people are doing Galamsey, they are polluting our waters, what have they done in the community? You see, we can bring me. You are the host right now, right? Whatever we are saying now, can you control whatever I will say? No, right? It doesn't mean that you're not a good host. You're a good host. But whatever comes from him, this is like Nanado sitting in Accra and expecting to know everything in Bimbila. But they are opinion leaders, they are kings, they are assemblymen, they are unit coordinator, people around. All those people are part of governance. And then there are citizens who are in the country who are supposed to do this. Is like my brother Lifetime was saying. Here, when you start digging something on the road, we have the one called neighborhood watch committees. They don't watch. They just peep in their windows and then they'll call police. I've seen somebody digging. What is the citizen doing?
No, and no. You know, citizens will do what citizens will do. It is up to the government to put in place the correct rules and regulations that would govern how citizens
are supposed. The laws are all there.
You're interrupting. There is. No.
Give me a minute.
You are interrupting me. I think you interrupted.
Go ahead.
Anyway, it is up to the government to put in place rules and regulations that govern how people or what acceptable behavior is. And not only putting up the rules and regulations, but enforcing them. That is the job of the executive. You see, the executive who we vote in position are required to enforce the rules. Not just put the rules there. So you can tell me that we have the laws. We can tell me that we have the laws. So do we have police? So do we have soldiers? So do we have law enforcement institutions in our country? And they're supposed to enforce the law.
Let me ask you this.
If they don't enforce the law, it should be blamed on the executive. Because that's the sole responsibility. That's one of the major responsibilities of the executive is to make sure.
So the problem is that, you know, when we talk like that, it means that politicians or people who are in power are magicians. They're supposed to know everything. It's like you sitting down there and somebody doing. You
I
are
don't
the
know how
law
you got that
enforcement
idea,
officer.
but
No,
that's not
hold
what
on,
you're
hold on.
saying.
No, no, that's
I,
what you meant. If we are talking like everything is about the government, and then the citizens have no responsibility whatsoever. Who are the government? We are all the citizens of the same country, for God's sake. And if somebody is stealing, and the police officer is not standing here, and there's a community member standing, see somebody stealing, without informing the police, you expect the police officer to be God to know exactly what is going on? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not
No,
saying that.
it's a collective responsibility of all. As
No.
much as I agree with
What I'm
no,
saying is that where you have a specific law in a country that is being broken and abused
have
over
the
and
government
over.
asked everybody not to enforce the law, or they are always hammering on it and saying we should enforce it, but
Well,
there's
your
the
campaign promise
partisan people.
the campaign promise seemed to indicate to
Don't go there. Don't go there. Let's stick to
to
one
the
thing. Let's
people
get
that
to
they can break this law without any problem. Anyway,
no no.
um, your last word. So
Let me use my
give
name.
me your last
We
word
thank you,
so
but
the show so we
this
can
is the thing we have to do. Alfred,
yeah.
you are the host, and most of the time the hosts are there in to make sure that both parties in quote unquote
Don't make me
agree
take
on.
offense to don't make me take
No,
offense to whether I'm hosting the show properly or
no,
not.
no, 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 no,
I'm
no.
hosting
So
it to the best of my ability.
the problem is that you don't even let me learn and know exactly what I'm about to
No,
do.
but
But
you're
you just
saying something
no.
that almost
I was about to
impedes
say
my
something.
ability to host the show, which
If you give me the chance to go ahead and tell you whatever I am going to say, then you can say, "Oh, I'm offending you or not," right? But you're not even allowing me to do that. You just cut into it, which is not fair, right? What I'm saying is, you're the host of the show, and then at the end of the day, you bring out the topics. All most of the time, you want us to do is to make sure we agree and have a solution to those topics, right? So at the end of the day, sometimes we might differ from the opinions as to how this thing should be solved, but sometimes we will agree on them, and that should be fine. It doesn't mean that we should always disagree, and that is why I have for today. That's how I see it. It's like we want to have a solution. For me and Paul to agree on something, that means a big thing. It's like like I don't know if we've gone for a gold mine somewhere. So that is what I'm doing. Sometimes there should be a solution. It's not always that we have to disagree and then bashing which government is in power. No. But in terms of you hosting the show, you're awesome. No, I'm not going to do anything. But I'm saying
all right. But
sometimes
I'm
you also
saying
have to
that
agree with us.
But I'm saying that the fact that you and Paul agree on something does not mean much to me. In other words, I need to get an answer for
You
what
had
it
an
is.
answer. We agree. You had an answer. We agree on something, which
What
never
you
happens
agree
on your
on,
show.
but what you
But you
agree
don't
on,
like it.
what you
You
agree
don't
on
like
is
it.
not a solution. It's not a
You
solution
don't like it.
to.
You don't like it.
No, I don't think it's
But
a
but
solution to.
but
I have to represent my
but
listeners and ask you these questions because otherwise I would have
but
brought all my listeners to be the ones asking the questions
but
themselves.
but,
But without
but,
them here, give me the credit to be their representative who's asking you other questions. I'm saying that yes,
but, but,
you and Paul can agree.
but
You and Paul can agree that I'm saying it's a national issue and it needs to be dealt with nationally. But I'm saying that there is a government in place. So yes, it is a national issue, but I want accountability from the current people in charge. I don't
but
want to be hearing that it's a national issue. What does that do to me? For whatever reason, he dropped off. He's gonna come back. All right. Let me get last words from you, Mister.
My
Okay,
brother Kojo should join the show back.
I'll bring Kojo back. Kojo.
Alfred,
So what
Alfred,
I'm saying, yeah, Kojo. What I'm
Alfred,
saying,
Alfred.
yeah.
Alfred, I think Kojo, let me come in.
Oh,
Kojo, let me
no,
come in.
let me just land and then you let me just land and then you go. That's it. This is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay.
This is a progress. It means that the fact that we've agreed on something is it's a step in the right direction that we are ready to fight this thing together. So it should be a step in progress, and it should be something that should be encouraged and then something that we can do. And thank you for always, as usual, and my brother Paul and lifetime legacy and yourself, Alfred. Thank you very much.
All right, Kojo. Thanks. Lifetime beyond.
Yeah, Alfred, I think I would like to agree with my brother Kojo on some of the this thing. Uh, when you are putting us on the spot of the moment, sometimes it's difficult. To be a political communicator for MPP or the party in government at this material time is difficult. So just have mercy with my brother Kojo sometime. You know, the government have embarrassed itself so that it make defending it very, very, very extremely difficult. So when critical questions sometimes are being asked, uh, you end up what do you call it? Uh, Making the government communicators uncomfortable. I'll be glad if you look at that at it from that regard. If you push Kodio, my brother Kodio, and if Shimon, then you leave them because it is not true fault of theirs that they have a bad government that they cannot defend. I wish this will be a wake-up call, my brother Kojo and Efa, to come to NDC, where you can defend a good legacy, a good progress,
Bad
a good
party.
party.
Bad party.
So the invitation is still out there waiting for you. Come to join a party that you can easily defend because they don't have any baggage. Okay.
All right.
Alfred, on this particular note, on my last submission, the government own a responsibility to Ghanaians. They have failed as far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned. I strongly disagree with my brother Kwejo for the assertion that he agreeing upon the decision of his government taking the job from people who are doing it and giving it to political appointees. I strongly disagree with my brother endorsing that. He will not be happy if this was to be done by NDC party. So I don't expect him to be happy when his party do the same thing. The people who the job was taken away from were also Ghanaian. They also deserve to eat. They also have families that you get it. So my brother Kojo, on that particular one, I
Party here,
strongly
Sika
disagree
Bebre.
with everything.
All
And
right.
you can do yourself a great honor when you disassociate yourself from the cruelest behavior by your party. I'll be very, very happy if you can dissociate yourself from it.
All
The
right.
issue of Asha, for me, if the government want to be seen serious fighting this Galamsey issue, the lady to go to jail so that it will serve as a deterrent to other immigrants in the country who have taken advantage of our weak system and destroying our water bodies. Alfred,
Well, because the matter is in courts, I make sure we didn't go into
Alfred,
the deep end of that.
Alfred,
Yes.
you see, we know the judiciary are corrupt. The judiciary led by
Cannot say that.
the judiciary led by Kwesi Enim Yeboah is corrupt. I will not be surprised they will connive with the government to let this lady go. We were here and Osafo came to tell us that if they jail this lady, the loan they are looking for will
Well,
not come.
Safamafo is not
Meanwhile,
part of
if
the
the Chinese
judiciary,
government
isn't it?
was expecting anything from us and our citizens go there to misbehave, they will deal
But
with them back according
listen
to
to
their law.
yourself. Safamafo is not part of the judiciary, so you cannot pivot from judiciary is corrupt and then quote Safamafo as what he said. I expect the judiciary to do their job, the judges to do their job. Instead of this, the only reason the judges didn't, uh, you know, commute this woman was because there was a nolle prosequi filed by the executives. In other words, the attorney general went and filed nolle prosequi. So let's move because she
Alfred,
was going through the process in 2017
Alfred,
and I don't know where that process was going to end because one, whether or not the prosecution has enough evidence has not been shown because the prosecution did not show whether they actually found Aisha hung at a site mining illegally. So, in other words, we have not been provided opportunity to actually see this whole case unravel. That's why I'm trying to kind of not
Alfred,
talk about the legal aspects
Alfred, the
necessarily
lady is
because the
doing
case is
the
still in
lady
court.
what is doing what is she's doing in the country with impunity because she is having the blessing of people in authority.
That's your opinion. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this cannot be my opinion.
That's
Alfred,
your opinion.
you see, we have Ghanaians up to now who do not have Ghana card. The lady have her details in the NIA database.
What prevents her from getting Ghana card?
I say that we have Ghanaians who are yet to get
But
Ghana
I'm
card.
saying, does anything prevent her from getting Ghana card? She's also in Ghana as a
I
permanent
am not
resident.
saying something is preventing her
She's a
from getting
permanent
Ghana card,
resident, so she should
but
get it.
I
So
am
if she gets
concerned
it,
on
why is that
this.
so special?
I am concerned about the speed, the magnitude of speed at which she got her Ghana card.
You don't know that. You don't know how expeditious
Alfred, the record is out there, where even on many occasions she intended to change her name that she used to know. We know her of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are all public this thing issue by an NIA. So
Well,
I am not just conducting
this
anything.
matter is before court, so let's just wrap up without necessarily going
Okay,
into
what I want to say is that
Mm.
it is time the government comes clean. And the only way we can see that the government is clean and they are not backing the lady to perpetrate illegality in the country is to have a successful prosecution and a jail to serve as deterrent to other national
Well, you're
who will come to
recommending
the country
pending some facts that you are not
take
privy to because you're not part
our
of the
system for granted.
jury that would make that decision. So I would not take that to say that. I mean, again, it's your opinion. In your opinion, you think that she should be jailed, but it has to be dependent on the facts. That can be proven in courts whether, in fact, she is in violation of our laws. If she's not, she should be set free as any other person who has not offended the law should be set free in our country. If she's in violation of the law, of course, the legal procedure should take place and she should go through the processes. But otherwise, I think she needs a fair trial. And I would end on that note. So I think everybody has given their last voices or last words. You're done, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, perfect. All right. Today's been great. And I think we've had a very fruitful discussion. We spoke to Togbi Joe Machi of the second of Assamese State, who helped us kind of understand the issues and some of the successes from the festival, the Yam Festival of 2022, and what the Yam Festival actually meant. And of course, he also helped us explain, the various linkages within the Asogli states. And of course, we've also talked about, the Galamsey fight and whether or not the arrest of Aisha Hung is a win that fight. And I am of the opinion that, in fact, if there are evidence showing that Aisha Ward has, in fact, violated our laws, she should be prosecuted, and those evidence should come up in that prosecution, and the proper course of law should take place. But what we've seen in 2017 was another prosecutor who says that she shouldn't be prosecuted at all, and she was thrown out of the country. So we were denied the opportunity to actually examine exactly what Aisha One did in our country. The rest of the conversation is just opinions. Anything anybody says over the media are opinions. We've not seen the facts. I think the facts will lead us to a logical conclusion and a legal conclusion. That's what we are all waiting for. Again, my name is Afreda Mozu, and this is the Ghana Agenda. We'll be back next week. If it is Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, it's the Ghana Agenda, and I have some of the brightest minds in politics residing here in the United States to engage. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week. Share the links. Thank you.